Hey there, it's me, Celia. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to do a reading about Emily Armstrong, the new singer in Linkin Park, and specifically I want to know how this happened. How did Emily Armstrong, a Scientologist, become accepted and placed in Linkin Park of all bands? So I'm going to link a channel in the description called Growing Up in Scientology. I've been watching that channel for a long time, as well as other I don't know if that's the right word, but channels about Scientology. I have been interested in that for a long time. I had a friend that worked at a chiropractor's office and they were Scientologists and she was not, and she had so many crazy stories to tell. So it's been maybe like 15 years since I've been geeking out in Scientology. And it really is just wild that she, a Scientologist, would be in that band, just because it kind of, the practices and beliefs of Scientology are kind of the antithesis of Linkin Park's message, in particular Chester Bennington's experience. It's just very invalidating. So I'm going to take a look at that. I want to see Scientology and Mike Shinoda. I can never say his name. Mike Shinoda. So he's the co-singer, co-founder of Linkin Park, and Scientology has been nurturing, grooming, setting him up to be part of their sphere for a long time. So I have a lot of information about this because I've been watching a lot of videos, but I am not going to really go into it too much right now. I think it will come up during the reading, or at least I want to, or at least that's what I want to try. So let's start, do one more. I'm hearing cut. I don't always cut. I just see what I'm guided to do at that time. Okay. So here's Mike, the Page of Air, catnip, Scientology, Mother of Fire, reverse time. That is the Queen of Wands reversed, and in between them, Four of Water, mint. This is Four of Cups. Interesting. So I think I'll start there. Ooh, let me see if this is working. Oops. Okay. So the Page of Air is Mike Shinoda. Why is this so hard for me to say? Okay, so I see him as kind of stepping out on his own a little bit and wanting to take to be like a decision maker within the band. So I think he was pursuing options for them. He wanted to go a little further with the band, and Chester died in 2017, and I don't think he appreciated being on hiatus for various reasons. I think he was getting a little stir crazy, and he was desperate to get out there again. I can just keep hearing he can't wait. Like, I can't wait. He wants to move forward and jump into performing with the band. So he was looking around. He was just wanting any opportunity that he could find to move forward. The Page of Air, this is the daughter of air in this deck, the Page of Swords, shows me he's a little, immature is not the right word, but like not sophisticated, or naive. He's very naive about the process. I think that he does have a sense of gullibility, or at least he has like a weakness in the mental sphere. Like there's something that you could easily pull one over on him based on his gullibility or naivete or his eagerness. You could easily do a mental trick on him or swoon him or stroke his ego or something like that. I think that he was primed to be groomed into a relationship with Scientology. So Scientology showed up as the mother of fire, time reversed. This is the Queen of Cups reversed. So this shows me that they were willing to do any tactic necessary, any manipulation, any dirty trick is what I heard. So they identified him as the target to help get advanced Scientology, which is funny for me to say just right out in this video. But if you understand Scientology, then you know how important celebrities are to their whole culture. There's a really cute bird in my bush. Okay. Yeah. And the way that it says potion and brews in here, and it's like, it's reversed, it shows me that they don't really care about being tact or following normal social orders. They're gonna honestly just play dirty. They're gonna do anything they can to force Mike's hand. And then in between them is the Four of Water, which is the Four of Cups. I think that Mike honestly thought this was the best way forward to the things that Scientology offered him, or the band, or things with Emily. He was just like, well, maybe it's not the best, but it's our best option that we have now. In some ways, I don't think that he was crazy about it. I don't think that he is a Scientologist, but he's very tolerant because he just doesn't care. Like, he's not, with this page of air, he's not thinking as critically as he could. So he's just like, I don't see the big deal. And Scientology, the mother of fire reversed, is like, of course it's not a big deal. They're gonna just be lying out of their teeth about it. I do want to see Emily, how she feels about the situation, how she feels about Scientology, how Scientology feels about her. But right now I'm feeling like I need to keep going with Mike. So that's what these cards are going to come up as. Okay, so we have the Healer of Air reversed, Rosemary. The Warrior of Earth reversed, upright Yucca. And the Two of Fire, Bebom. Man, I wish I knew their signs, but there's some people involved in here. There is the Healer of Air reversed, which is the Queen of Swords reversed. The Warrior of Earth, Pentacles, so the Knight of Pentacles, and the Two of Wands. I think that he felt pressure from somebody, like a higher up, a manager, something. I think he was receiving pressure on multiple ends of somebody being like, you have to make a decision. You have to move forward. If you're going to start this band again, you have to do it now. Now is the time. And a lot of that pressure was coming from a financial standpoint. So I think he saw that the band could be making financial gain, or that they're just losing money by not working on moving forward with the band. And, you know, he is a co-founder and a co-singer. Obviously, Chester was kind of the front man that we all think about, but he was a part of it, and he does have ownership, and he's totally ready to step into that and kind of get his coin. And, I mean, also he does want to create with the Two of Wands, the Two of Fire. He does feel really impassioned about getting out there. He really does feel like, he just wants to try. But sadly, he's not thinking through things properly, and therefore he's able to be manipulated. I don't know if this is like his label. Like, what if they had a contract and they needed to keep going with that contract in order to fulfill it, or else they would have to pay a certain amount of fees or something. So since he felt inspired, he was like, I'm just gonna go for it. I mean, I just see this warrior of earth, and they're like creating these yucca, it's like a physical thing, you know, that it's like a product. Like, they kind of remind me of albums. And either he was in the middle of something he wanted to do, there's like a clock is ticking, like now is the time, we have to act, is how he feels. But sadly, I don't think those ideas were very well developed for him. Okay, I'm gonna pull 3 more for Mike and Scientology. Oh my gosh, there's so many people involved here. So we have the daughter of fire, California poppy, the daughter of water, chamomile, and the 7 of waters reversed, birch. So this is the Page of Wands, the Page of Cups, and reversed 7 of Cups. I think he wanted to walk away. He's like I'm seeing him like make a line in the sand of like, that was how Linkin Park was, that's how Chester wanted it to be. And he wants to shed that. He really wants to, like, if he moves Linkin Park forward and there's more talk about Linkin Park, he thinks, and I think he's influenced to think this way, that it's going to distract people from like the whole conversation of Chester, and because he was such an amazing figure and meant a lot to a lot of people, you know. And how he died was so sad, and like he sees that as like, I'm done with that, and I'm done with him, not in a disrespectful way, but I see him very, very, very much compartmentalizing. Like, this is the old and this is the new. And it's so funny because I think of other bands that have gotten new singers and have moved on to replace the old singers. The first one, of course, is like Alice in Chains got this guy, William Duvall, to replace Lane Staley. But the thing is like, Lane Staley, Alice in Chains stopped playing, you know, like a decade or more. Probably like, I don't know, a really long time from when Alice in Chains got a new singer. Second of all, they make a lot of new music. So yeah, they of course sing their old hits, but they also have new things. And so it's not just like somebody filling in for Lane, because that's absolutely impossible. And there was so much time that went on. Now, some people say like, oh, like there's going to be diehards that are like, nobody can ever like get in Lane's shoes. Nobody can do that. But for some reason, Linkin Park feels like they can move on without Chester. And it's almost like I think that they can manipulate the story or make people forget. And I kind of think it's the social media culture of the time. I'm seeing this, Daughter of Fire or Page of Wands is like, hey, let's try something new. Let's distract them. And I always see these as like social media posts of like, we're putting out a new energy behind this. We're going to change the situation. We're going to create something new. And so I think that he's really trying to overwrite what they've done so far. And it's because of his own like uncomfortability with leaving Linkin Park as it was. He wants to move on. Therefore, he thinks he needs to kind of put Chester's legacy to the side and start fresh. Like, that's basically as much thought as he's given it. And I think I do respect that to a certain extent, because he's ready to like create, and you know, he almost feels like, hey, we can start with like a new generation, or like work on the nostalgia piece. People are going to want to see us, and this social media coverage of Emily Armstrong is going to die down, but I don't think it really is going to die down, honestly. But that is what he's hoping for, is a fresh start. It's just kind of delusional though, because you think you're walking away, but you're not. There's still so much legacy underneath the situation, and if you don't do it justice, it's gonna blow up in his face. He thinks that he has Chester's blessing, or like Chester wouldn't mind him moving forward, and I think that might be true, but the way that he's doing it is really rubbing a lot of people the wrong way. So let's say why. So Scientology does not let people use any sort of mental health medications, therapies, and they do not let you see psychiatrists, psychologists, and there's a bad, you know, just mental health is like really shit on in Scientology. Yeah, you can admit that you have them, and then you have to like say, oh, it's these body thetans that are stuck inside of me from this life or past lives, and you know, you have to like kind of audit them out of you. Like, that's what causes mental health conditions, and then to say like you can't get treated for it is really just messed up. And so here's the thing about Emily Armstrong. Okay, and why that's, they can believe whatever they want, whatever. Why that's messed up is because so much of their music is about struggling mentally. I mean, does that not, like, what's like the first thing you think of about Chester Bennington is like, he was giving that mental health struggles a voice, you know? And then another thing is that this is like the shadiest stuff, and I feel like Scientology really is keeping this from Mike Shinoda, okay? He is either not aware of it or he's pushing it under the rug. And that is children who are abused. So there is, Scientology does all sorts of crazy stuff, okay? It is a cult. And they, hold on a second. Is this even recording? Okay, so one of the things Scientology does is if a child is abused, if a child is SA'd, the child, at whatever age this is coming, that they are telling on somebody, if they even do that, they have to take responsibility for their actions in this lifetime, which led them to be the causative factor in their own abuse. You have to say what you did to cause this to young children, okay? I mean, to anybody it's bad, but to young child to think like, oh, I caused this. And it could be like, oh, in my last lifetime, I did something, which is so hard because you can't, it's really hard to like prove what you did in a last lifetime. It's not that I don't believe in past lives, but like the few times that you tap into that with any sort of, you know, certainty is very few. It's just kind of almost like a dream state or an impression or a metaphor. And I doubt that people are honestly believing that within Scientology, okay? And even so, it is victim blaming. And that was a lot of what Chester Bennington went through and talked about. So it's just okay. So Emily Armstrong's mom, Gail Armstrong, is a lifelong Scientology person, and she wrote in this journal called, she's the editor of the Freedom Mag, and she was a creator of propaganda that was anti-mental health, anti-psychology, psychiatry. So she wrote the propaganda that said mental health stuff is not real. If it is real, it's because of what you did in a past lifetime. Psychologists are evil. Psychiatry is evil. You should never get treated for mental health things. Here's why. She was the creator of that propaganda. And then she went on to be a publicist and work for people. She actually got put into Scientology jail. I can't remember what it's called. It's like the Hole or something like that. She was like very much demoted, and then she was put back on a publicist team. So Emily Armstrong's mom is responsible for creating, and then writing and publishing completely made up propaganda that's anti-mental health. So I want to see how Emily and her mom, what is happening between them. I shuffled and I cut. Okay, so we have Emily is the Wheel of Fortune, reversed kitchen garden. This makes me sad because she really is stuck in a cycle. She really is stuck in a cult, and she does not feel like she can get out. This is her lot in life. This is where she is. I think that she has been brainwashed for a very long time. There are pictures of her being in various like Scientology children organizations, and that there is, you know, people say that they witnessed or heard or read about her being abused within Scientology as a child. So this is just showing me that this like cult is the gift that keeps on giving to her, and I don't really think she feels like she has much choice in the matter. You could say that the Wheel of Fortune reverse could be like an ending of cycles. I would think that more with the world reversed, where she's ready to turn her world upside down or release herself from that. The Wheel of Fortune reversed, it's more like she's down on her luck. With the Wheel of Fortune reverse, I think more that she's down on her luck. She really does not think highly of herself. She's really not expanding out to question any of this. I feel a lot of guilt, and it's so deep within her. So in the video I'm going to link below about, it's just one of many on growing up in Scientology's YouTube channel. It's these two people talking about like, just very briefly towards the end, the guest is talking about like, if she were to get out of Scientology, this is what would need to happen. And it takes like at least 3 years to kind of get out of this situation and like not listen to anybody else and think on your own. And I don't think that she's there. I feel like she's in this quite deep. And it really is the epitome of being brainwashed or manipulated from a very, very young age, with a lot of emotional tactics put on that. The 10 of Earth reverse, this is the 10 of Pentacles reverse, horsetail. Oh my God. She is not known to be a very devout Scientologist. You'll see in the interview if you want to look at it. She's not really doing Scientology work. She's not being audited. She's not climbing up the bridge to total freedom. Who knows what level she's at. It's just more so that she's in the culture of it. And the 10 of Earth just makes me think of the people in the Scientology building managing, micromanaging, infantilizing, demeaning, controlling everything, the celebrities, to push their own agenda. So this is like the evil people in the boardroom being like, we are going to direct you for life. And I do think that even if you talk to her today, she might not, she probably wouldn't talk about it, honestly. Most people are embarrassed that they're in Scientology because they know it's not accepted and not cool. But within her, I feel like there is, from a young age, she was religiously abused in a way. So I think about myself when I was little. I really believed a lot that I read in the Bible on my own, which you should probably not do as a young child. And what I heard in church and everything. And I was so scared, especially when I was in like 3rd grade. I remember being so scared about hell and the idea of hell, and like getting that into my head and being like, I'm a sinner, and I'm born a sinner, and I have to accept Jesus in order to avoid going to hell. And like, but like everybody's a sinner and we're sinning all the time. And like, how often do I need to do this to like pray to Jesus? And how do I know? And like, I was never baptized. And so does it even matter? And I was just in a freaking tizzy. And that feeling of being afraid and controlled and like just for a young child it's just crazy what that can do to your psyche. And years later, I found a lot of that religious trauma was like stored in my body, that came out, and it was very intense. And it was like, holy moly, like my adult self would never say I'm afraid of going to hell. But as a child, I did. And that was such a powerful experience that has stuck with me, you know? So I feel like she believes the rhetoric about she has a billion-year contract with Scientology. She's going to be in this forever. She's dedicated. I think that part of her feels like it is pointless to try to do anything because she is in deep. She has the billion-year contract. She's not going to escape. Mentally, she might understand that that's not true. It's just something she was told within her body. You know, and that's really kind of all that matters when it comes to trauma. That's her body does not feel like it can escape from that religious indoctrination. You know, she is, as far as herself cares, you know, she's a wounded child being told whatever sorts of lies you're told as a Scientologist about what you're doing here. And I think that's deep within her. And her mom was definitely a part of it. Even though her mom, apparently, Gail Armstrong, did not necessarily believe all of the rhetoric that she was creating in that magazine about mental health stuff. She was just writing kind of in the spirit of L. Ron Hubbard, which L. Ron Hubbard completely made up Scientology, and it based it on some sort of, he's a science fiction writer and just whatever. So she was writing on that way. I just see the potions and brews backwards. This is the wrong use of information. So the right way, thyme is one of my absolute favorite herbs ever. That's the name of my channel, Tarot Thyme. And someday I'll get into the reason why that is. But yeah, thyme is one of my most important herbs. So with the, so if time was upright, I would see this as the mother of fire. So this is the Queen of Wands. Within this deck, I see the court cards as being various levels of working with the energy of that element. So as a mother of fire is somebody that nurtures in the realm of the element of fire. And part of that, see, it says potions and brews. It's like the application of using this to help people, to help a community. You're offering assistance, you're offering mothering, you're offering nurturing. That's regardless of any gender. It's like the support you offer to a larger amount of people that creates kind of a legacy, where like the healer of fire is somebody who can, you know, wield the power of that element. This is somebody that understands that element and offers it freely to those around them as like a force for basically like nurturing in a way to help people's growth. And so the potions and brews is like the information, like the ancestral information that you've been given. That is like, these are the secrets of our family recipe of a thyme syrup or a thyme vinaigrette, or how to grow it, or like what to do with it, and it's like the legacy that has been passed down. But to have it reversed is you're creating a false legacy. It's a legacy used wrongly. So like Scientology is not a real religion. It was not real. It really truly wasn't. Not that other religions necessarily are more. Yes, other religions are more real in a religious sense. I'm just going to go out there and say it. Because they go back and back and back, you know, like I'm not going to talk about that. But Scientology was created out of thin air. So what they call like, you know, rules or ways to conduct yourself is just completely falsified misinformation. And so that was Emily's mom, Gail Armstrong, just completely creating false information to push the infiltration of Scientology out. And so this is like a very manipulative, mothering energy. However, Emily's mom did somehow, through her advocacy, allowed, through Scientology, defended Emily's ability to be openly gay. Yeah, and maybe that's why she was put into like the Scientology jail that David Miscavige created. I don't really know. So she could apply that effort in various regards. You know, she was able to maybe manipulate rules or something, or like hierarchy in the organization to be like, hey, my daughter's gay, who fucking cares? Or like, hey, you put me in the hole for a while and then I repented for her or something. So there was that happening. So I think she applied her like level of manipulation in various regards. Okay, you have the 3 of air, echinacea, the 4 of water, mint, again, reversed, and the devil, blackberry, reversed. So this is the 3 of swords, 4 of cups reversed, and the devil reversed. There's really no other way to say it. Emily is heartbroken. You know, this is all alleged for entertainment purposes only, from my own personal opinion. There's no facts here. I'm just interpreting images on some cards and seeing what I respond to intuitively, okay? No facts here. It's just a tarot reading. Emily's heartbroken by her mom's just blatant disregard for herself and the toxicity surrounding her. Like her mom's toxic manipulation, control, punishment, I just heard. And she would love to forget about it, but she can't really forget about what happened to her with her mom. So I'm kind of seeing this like Lenormand, like this is like kind of the mom, it's right underneath, and this is Emily, and this is energy in between them. So yeah, her mom was, I just heard punishment. I don't know what that means, whether her mom got punishment or she did punishment to Emily. I think it's both, or like her mom sent her daughter away to certain areas where she would get punished is what I kind of saw. So all those are potential possibilities. Yeah, Emily can't really look away from that. And therefore she's heartbroken. Okay, I'm going to do 3 more. We got the Daughter of Earth, Linden, 6 of Earth reversed, Pine, 3 of Earth reversed, Raspberry. I wonder what's going to happen. This is, to me, showing that there might be a snafu with her being in Linkin Park. Perhaps the backlash will become so strong. Oh, okay. With this, so this is the 3 of Pentacles reversed. This is the 6 of Pentacles. Did I say 3 of, yeah. 3 of Pentacles reversed, 6 of Pentacles reversed. And the Daughter of Earth, which is the Page of Pentacles. So we got a lot of Pentacles here. And I wonder if there's something going to happen in the contract. Scientology is strong, but I think the record industry might be stronger. Of course, there might be people in the record industry who are part of Scientology. I have seen that intuitively while I was preparing for this reading. I didn't know if it was going to come up. But that's because, so let me just read my notes here. Within this thing that I linked, the Growing Up in Scientology interview talking about this. So Mike Shinoda and all of Linkin Park, in order for Emily Armstrong to be in that band, who is a Scientologist, they all would have had to have been safe pointed, which is something that L. Ron Hubbard created. That basically means nobody in your line who's not a Scientologist can be antagonistic to Scientology. They can't even really openly question it. They can't be critical to it. This we can see be demonstrated in the fact that people are, so in Linkin Park and Mike Shinoda's Instagram or social media, I'm not sure, maybe it's Twitter, maybe it's his, maybe it's Linkin Park's, I don't really know. But people who are criticizing Emily, those posts are being deleted. But people who are criticizing Scientology are also being deleted and blocked. And that is obviously a part of being safe pointed, because you think that they would allow people to say whatever they want about Scientology. And in fact, if you leave those up, it looks less suspicious if you take them down. But for whatever reason, they're taking the negative posts about Scientology down underneath the comments. So yeah, it's basically the president's office, which is, you'll just have to watch that other thing for me to describe what the president office is, but of Scientology has had to have infiltrated Linkin Park, and in particular Mike Shinoda's circle. Okay, so basically they're surrounded with handlers, and their relationship between Mike and Emily, oh, I should do them, has been, actually I'm hearing no, okay, we'll see if I do them, has been nurtured and set up for many, many, many years. People say they've been friends for 7 years at least or something. I don't really know. But it's been set up that they get into contact with one another. It's been groomed, basically. All that being said, yes, there could be Scientologists working for record labels, record companies, PR teams for sure. That's definitely more one of their jobs. But I'm kind of seeing that there's somebody who is I'm sick of this shit. Either you say that you're not in it or you're out or something. And I see somebody kind of with bad blood, I just heard, that I just see this 6 of Earth reversed, these little letters, these packets left over from a gathering. To me, these are kind of like contracts, and they're kind of left there. If it was upright, I would say oh, people got together to do these contracts and now they're going to send them out. But having them like this makes me think that they're kind of left in the cold, almost the way that this fire is pointing away. So I don't think this contract is going to go, if there is some sort of contract, it's not going as planned. It could be, if there's a contract between Scientology And Linkin Park, perhaps there's something there that's not going to go as well as you may think. And then the Three of Earth just being like, work is not going to work out. I see Emily, when I touch this card, I see Emily being very, very sad, and I don't really know why. Okay, I'm going to do 3 more cards. Hierophant, the Emperor reversed, Hemlock, and Two of Air reversed, Chicory. So, Emperor reversed, 2 of Swords. Oh man, yeah. I see Emily just being really sad. She really doesn't feel like she has power. I feel like she's leaning on Mike to like make decisions, which is kind of smart because he is the co-founder of this thing and she wants to be respectful and she understands some level of social tact of like, I'm stepping in here and being new and I'm causing a lot of controversy. She is internalizing, I'm going back to this very first card about her, she's internalizing a lot of guilt and shame and feeling really, really bad about like, I'm a sinner, I'm terrible, you know, and Scientology is really against being LGBTQ. So her mom let her off the hook, kind of, but it doesn't mean that she doesn't remember from being a kid how evil they all were and how you just have a bad body and whatever. So, and people have been like beaten, especially men, for being gay in Scientology. And definitely demoted, and punished and whatever. So I feel that. And the Hierophant, I think that there's just, she really feels like this really is a structure within her of like, she really believes Scientology, even if she's not practicing. There is somebody in her ear, you know, that's like being very harsh and putting a lot of pressure on her. And she does not like this Two of Air, this Two of Swords reverse. She does not like this. I see her torn in different directions. I don't even see her being torn between like, should I leave Scientology? It's not even that. It's just like, she feels really, really, really shitty about the whole situation. So it's funny that her mom was writing all this information about how mental health stuff was like not real and you shouldn't get help for it and psychiatry is bad and psychology is bad. Because it seems like Emily, from my, you know, just tarot reading, I don't really know her. I don't understand what's going on. Like wasn't there. There's absolutely no facts here. I don't know. I think she kind of, there's some mental health things. So, you know, at least I see her being very sad and I see her feeling very, very terrible. And as somebody with religious trauma, spiritual trauma, and just a lot of internalized bad feelings regarding how the religious ideas that I picked up as a child, I totally see that within her. Okay. So I'm going to do just a few Lenormand cards to finish. I just wonder what's going to happen. I feel like this is kind of the beginning, honestly, which is weird to say, but that's just what I heard. The key, the ring, and the tree. Emily might leave because she is committed to the family ties. More than anything, I feel her committed to her family and very thoroughly brainwashed. The apple does not fall from the tree. Her mom wants her to keep being in the band though and like get out of it. Like, you should do it, you should try it, you know, like you can just deny Scientology, whatever, just say what you need to say. So her mom is a publicist for celebrities internationally as well. So she is trying to guide her, but like Emily's like, you don't understand how deep this is. The commitment, that's where she is wondering about. I see her committed to the family, but I also see her committed to moving forward. So she's at a choice point. This is not black and white. If you listen to the Growing Up in Scientology video I mentioned, it's in the link below, listen to the end, or maybe just fast forward to the end. It's kind of long, and I don't know how long it is. It's well over an hour. Because at the end, the two people that are, you know, doing this live together, you know, they both grew up in Scientology and they both came out of it. And they kind of have like, if Emily were to leave, this is what we would suggest. This is what she could do. I think that, is she going to leave? Probably not. Definitely not at this moment. I don't think. Personally, allegedly for entertainment purposes only. That's what I think. I don't think she's ready. I don't think she even understands that she's in a cult. I don't think she's having a coming to Jesus moment with like, oh my God, I am in a cult. Oh my God, those people are right about Scientology. She doesn't even feel, she cannot even feel that way, according to me in her energy. However, she is at the beginning points of understanding something for herself. Now, whether that means she stays in Scientology, but she stands up for herself, or like she takes some of those bad feelings away, I don't really know. I feel like it was actually, I hate freaking saying this because I do feel personally offended, and I do feel it was wrong for Linkin Park to choose Emily based on the legacy of Linkin Park and Chester Bennington. Like, it is ridiculous. But I do somehow think that it is going to be useful for her and her own mental health struggles to be in that spot. So I think that she will get some more information about herself and her situation and will become a slightly more enlightened. I just heard her mom is a sham. And so maybe she will be like, oh, you know, I kind of believed my mom when I was little and she wrote those things about mental health struggles not being right or real. But now I understand that she really was just creating those for propaganda. Like, that might be stuff that she takes in the right direction. Okay. Well, thank you, Lenormand. Those are fun. This is a new deck that I have. It's called Cute Little Lenormand. And if you are new to Lenormand, it tells you about the different, the different cards, and then the combinations with them, positive and negative interpretations, sister cards, questions, and then at the end it talks about how to do readings with Lenormand and how to do grand tableaus. All right, so thank you so much for listening and take good care. Okay, bye. Okay, that should be good.